Now, in today's video, we're going to see if green, or more specifically, British Racing Green, mixes with pink. Because as you guys know, next year, the Racing Point F1 team, as we know it right now, will merge into Aston Martin Racing. But there is a caveat and there is a big asterisk. So, the Racing Point title sponsor, BWT, which is a water company, they are going to stay on, I believe, as a title sponsor. And the rumour in the paddock and the rumours online are that they have requested for 50% of their car to be in their branding. Having said that, there's been reports already from people within Racing Point saying that their car next year will be British Racing Green. So there's mixed reports here and lots of things to kind of take into account. So I thought to myself, hey, you know what? Why don't we put it together and make something work? And can we make British Racing Green and pink work? That's going to be the experiment. So we're going to see what we can do, and fingers crossed we can try and come up with a very good design. I want to quickly give a shout out and a plug to WTF1 Tommy, more specifically, because he did an attempt of this on Gran Turismo, and to be fair, it looked pretty decent. I'm going to leave a link to his video up in the top right hand corner of your screen. It's taken me longer than I would have liked to get around to making this video, but nonetheless, we are here and let's jump into it. We are going to be using Assetto Corsa for this video, and I'll leave all the links, guys, down in the description down below. The mod is thanks to Race Sim Studio for giving us the 3D car model, and yeah, I'm using Photoshop to make this. So let's jump into it. If you guys are going to enjoy the video, drop a like on it and subscribe for more livery content like this, and let's get this video on the way. Well, here we are then in Photoshop. As you can see, we have the 2020 F1 car model here. This one, of course, like I mentioned before, is made by Race Sim Studio. It's a generic F1 2020 car. I'll leave a link down below in the description. You can actually drive this on Assetto Corsa, and we might actually do that in today's video. But as you can see, we have the 3D model here, and looking pretty decent. It's a shame this car has the wide nose, considering the trend in 2020 of cars going for the narrower, skinnier noses. But that aside, it looks very good. There's a lot of aerodynamic little wing bits on the car, which I really like. So it's going to make it quite interesting, and I'm looking forward to it. So as you guys know, I've done previous liveries on my channel before with the Brawn, the Manor as well, bringing them back to life. So this is going to be another attempt of me trying to do a bit of a livery. So let's see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it, and let's start throwing these colors on. So first of all, you can see here we have the parts of the car. It might look a bit complicated for you guys, but I've been doing this for quite a while now, so I kind of know what I'm doing. And we're going to start throwing these on one by one, and we're going to see how it looks each step of the way, and we're then going to look at the final product and then hopefully see it on track. Now, first things first, of course, it goes without saying, but what I've done is I've actually Googled the code word British Racing Green. It gives you a certain color code, and I've applied it to the car. So this should be pretty much as accurate of a green we're going to get to what it's going to be next year. So very much, I would say, not similar to Caterham. I think it reminds me more of Jaguar back in the day when they were in Formula 1 in terms of this color of green. And already we've got the base layer down. So this is pretty straightforward. We're now going to add on some other details and start seeing where things start to break up a little bit. Now, step number 2, as you can see, is going to be the black paint. And as you can see, we've done a pretty good job of implementing it into the car. This isn't going to be a super important color. This is mainly on there to break up the pink from the green, to help give a bit of separation so that it doesn't look too broken apart, because, you know, pink next to green is quite harsh in terms of the contrast, so it's really hard to make it work together. So I feel like the black helps bring it all together as one. We've got the black on the sides of the rear and front wing on both outside sections. The actual rear wing, the inside section, and also the front wing is going to be green. Also, we've got the black on the underside of the car, and it's kind of like this little round pattern here. So on the nose and also at the back of the car, you can see it rounds off a little bit, and that creates an upper stripe that goes along the top of the car. So that gives a nice bit of a placement and a bit of a separation. We've got some black on the inside and underside of the halo, along with some black mirrors. And then the key detail really here is the front. So as you can see, we've gone for a lot of black on the nose. And the reason for that is actually because we don't have the skinny nose model of an F1 2020 car, this is basically a disguise. So when you kind of look at it without looking at it too much, it looks like the car has a skinny nose, like they do in real life with the Racing Point on the Mercedes or McLaren or Renault, and that seems to be the trend teams are going for. So yeah, we've gone for a lot of black on the front just to kind of give that impression that it's a skinny nose, as I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to go for next year anyway, because it's been proven the wide nose concept isn't effective anymore. So yeah, that's what we're going for here. A little bit of a black strap on the front wing, you can see here. We'll get into that in a minute, and then some black along the bottom here as well to bring it all together as one. So I like it straight away. I mean, this looks pretty decent already. already. It could be like a Caterham Jaguar livery in a way. But let's throw on the controversial pink onto this green and let's see how the two look together. Here we go. I'm very excited to show you guys this. I think I've done a good job. I think it works quite well. So here we are then, looking at the pink. It's been thrown onto the car. I've gone for a bit of an interesting concept with this. So first of all, the idea behind this was to have pink on the top sections, on the higher parts of the car, and green on the lower / bottom areas. So from the front, first of all, we've got the pink on the top, on the halo, the engine cover, the rear wing, and the front wing. So I think the front wing looks pretty cool. We've got the separation in there with the black line to help break it up a little bit. And I think it gives something different to it, because if the front wing was just all black or all green, it'd look a bit plain, a bit boring. You could throw sponsors on there to make it a bit more interesting, but generally I think the pink with the black line helps break it up. We then move over to a bit more of a side angle view here, and I think this looks okay. I'm not too much against this. If we look at it in more detail here, the black line does a great job of splitting up the paints, as you can see, and creating that separation, which I really like. So we've got the green on the lower half of the car, pink over the top to keep it quite bright, and then a little bit of detailing on the rear wing there with the pink upper flap and the green lower one as well. Black on the sides. I think it looks pretty good. I don't think it's absolutely terrible. I think you can do a lot worse than this. And again, I'm not trying to copy Tommy's design, which is completely different to mine. So yeah, I think this looks pretty decent. I'm quite happy with this, and both colours don't look too bad. It kind of reminds me of when McLaren first announced their car originally about 2 years ago in 2018, and it had the orange and the blue, and I think everyone was like, orange and blue don't really mix, but somehow they've made it work and it looks insane. And I feel like I'm trying my best here to make this look pretty decent. So there we go, there's the main colors on the car. But now we're going to jump into sponsors, because sponsors can make or break the livery. You know, they're such a key part, and they can really help make things look really, really good or really, really bad. Hopefully in this case though, you guys like what I've done with the sponsorship. This is it now, it's the moment of truth, and this is going to be the final reveal with the sponsors in place. So here we go, I present to you the Aston Martin racing team, and as you can see, I think it looks pretty good. We've got all the main sponsors on there, and the ones that realistically I would expect to be on the car. So on the front nose, we've got Mercedes, because next year they're going to have the Mercedes engines, of course, powering the team as always. Aston Martin logo, the Aston Martin Racing logo, which is their kind of racing brand. And then we've got BWT, Pirelli, and Hackett with the number 5 of Mr. Sebastian Vettel, of course. Then we move over to the side view. Now, straight away, I think the sponsors really help make this livery. I really, really do. Let's break it down. So on the side, we've got the Racing Point kind of tribute / nod to the previous team. We've got Ravenol, which again, I believe could be a very realistic and possible sponsor for them next year. That's an oil lubricants company, I believe. And then from the side, Aston Martin, big fat logo on the side pod. It wasn't the original design I had. I wanted to do just kind of like a single wing down the side pod, but I wasn't able to find that particular picture for some reason. I'm not sure where I saw it, but it looked really, really cool. I tried to do it myself. It didn't quite work the same way, but this still looks very, very good. We've got the BWT, of course, on the car as well as a title sponsor, and then Akrapovic as well, which tends to be a pretty consistent and popular sponsor with them whenever you look at Aston Martin in racing categories. We've got the AMR, of course, on the side as well, in tribute and a nod to them as a racing team, and then Hackett on the rear wing as a sponsor. We then look a bit more from a top end view, and we've got Aston Martin, of course, on the halo. We then look over to the rear wing, and we've got Aston Martin there as well on the DRS flap, if I can just about get the angle right here. Let me see if I can get that. There we go. So nice bit of Aston Martin on the rear wing as well. And we're going to bring it around to the rear of the car, and you can see we've got Aston Martin there as well. It's a bit dark, but it is on there. You'll see that much better in daylight or in the showroom. And then the other side, of course, exactly the same. It's a bit in the dark at the minute in the shade, but I like it. I think it's not too bad. I'm curious to see how this is going to look on a racetrack in like daylight or in a showroom or something, but in principle, I don't think it's too bad. I really don't. I think I've done a pretty good job. The sponsors really help bring it together and make it something different. So let's throw this onto the track and let's see how she looks. Ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you the Aston Martin Racing car, and look at this. I actually think it looks even better with some wheels on the car, which really helps, and some suspension as well. The actual final finished product in game with the reflections and everything looks insane. I really like it. From the front view, I have no issues with this at all. If this was the car next year, I could get behind this. I really could. I think it's very different, very fresh and unique. We move over to a bit of a side view now, and you can see, I think this looks amazing. We've gone for a little bit of green on the inside of the wheels here, as you can see, a little green stripe just to add to it. But I think this actually has gone a lot better than I expected. I really do. And the reflective kind of glossiness of the paint brings it all together. And I'm looking forward to seeing this on the racetrack. So we're going to throw on there. I'm going to take a couple of pictures for the thumbnail, for some studio shots in some kind of better quality. And wow, it's growing on me the more I look at it. I don't know. I'm curious to see what you guys think. You know, the comments are going to be really interesting on this one, so I'm going to keep a close eye on them. I think there's going to be a lot of split opinion on this, but I'm happy. I think I've done a good job on this. So let's throw around the track. We're going to go either around Nürburgring or Portimao, as they are the next rounds in the F1 calendar, and we're going to see how it looks in broad daylight. But let's jump into it, guys. Well guys, there we go. That is it for this video, and as you saw on track, it didn't look as good as I hoped for. I think the pink looked very kind of whited out. It wasn't that colourful. It looked better in the preview screenshots, which was a shame, but still, you get the gist of it. I think it looks a lot better in the showroom, so we'll kind of leave it at that and kind of have that as our last memories of the livery. But guys, it's going to split opinion. Let me know what you guys think, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts and feedback. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like on it, subscribe for more content like this, and just general daily F1 content on the channel, and check out the 2 videos on your screen right now if you haven't seen them already, guys. But thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you to Tommy WTF1 for the inspiration, and I'll see you guys in my next one very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.